You talking to me now?
You know, I don't blame Will for attacking me. The poor lad was being groomed by a paedophile.
Right, you lot, out. Air your own dirty laundry in public, but stay away from ours. Go on now, out.
You heard what the lady said.
Lady, I was pushing it a bit.
I don't need selling twice.
Come on, Daniel. I should get you home.
Go and get an early night, Daniel.
Right, everyone, show's over. Let's get back to the serious business of consumption. Get you another one, love?
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
Welcome to episode 400 of The Talk of the Street, an unofficial Coronation Street catch-up podcast that even after 400 episodes still manages to be surprised at how much of a fan Daniel is. I'm Gavin.
And I'm here to inform Tim that there have been at least 5 canonical Robins in the DC universe, and at least 3 non-canonical Robins in the DC universe, including Joro, who is a sentient starfish that lives in a jar that was adopted by Batman, who considers himself a Robin.
Conical means cone-shaped, right?
Canonical, not conical. Canonical.
I know, but...
Part of the canon.
But it wouldn't have been a joke if I had heard you properly.
Would you like to know
the
names of all of the...
We've already talked about this for longer than is ideal.
Canonical Robins?
Only if you say conical.
Conical.
There you go.
Dick Grayson, Jason Todd,
you really are going to do this?
Tim Drake, Stephanie Brown, and Damian Wayne are the 5 canonical Robins in the DC universe.
Stephanie Brown, they gave that 5 seconds of thought, didn't they?
Yes. She later became Batgirl, would you believe? After the first Batgirl was...
Singer McInnes. That would have been a good one.
I think we're a little late for St. Patrick's Day jokes, don't you think?
That was not St. Patrick's Day joke.
Sinking my Guinness?
Singer McInnes.
Which sounds like sinking my Guinness.
Does a little bit. Let's call that deliberate and move on.
Okay.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I was terrible yesterday. I've been fighting something. You know...
The patriarchy?
Well, there's that, yes. There's this thing that I do, which is stupid. But I do it. I think most people do it. Where you feel like you're getting sick and you just fight through it. You're like, I feel like I'm getting sick, but I'm just going to ignore it and hope it goes away. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't, and you can't get out of bed for 24 hours. And that was me yesterday.
Oh, no.
I was able to at least get to the couch and do some work today, which is good, because we have an auction ending on Sunday and an auction starting on Sunday, so I have work that I have to do.
Oh, do you need an auction talk button here? Do you know, I used to jump out at me a lot more.
Right,
That's
yeah.
all I'm saying.
No,
I'm just listening for...
It's okay.
Don't be daft. That's what I've trained my brain to be listening for.
Yeah, we don't get auction talk very much because... For the most part, the things that I auction off in the new company aren't all that interesting. It's like new furniture in the box and stuff that people have returned to Amazon on pallets that we go through and create lots for and stuff.
Urinals.
No, that was
the famous one.
That was different. We still haven't even auctioned those urinals off because we can't get that guy on the phone to clean up his urinals so we can take better pictures.
Oh, have they been used?
Well, yeah, they were.
No.
They were.
You can't sell a used urinal.
Of course you can. They were like from an old building that got knocked down. So they were dirty, not with urine, but with like actual dirt and stuff because they've been laying in a warehouse for...
I bet you there's some urine there.
I don't know, porcelain cleans up pretty quickly and easily.
It's like selling second-hand toilet paper.
Well, no. We do have some, like,
Ugh.
new in the package camping toilet paper from Japan that my boss is very excited about. He gets excited about things that I'm just like, okay.
I'm not sure that this is living up to the auction talk music being played.
What's been fascinating though is I have been working on car parts from a 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air, and that's been kind of fun. But they've been dirty, so I've had to like be in the back.
Probably some
bathroom,
urine on them as well.
Scrubbing them clean, and we don't have hot water in the warehouse, so it's been cold, and my hands have been in cold water scrubbing chrome.
Hot water, urine. Where's the joke? No, do it yourselves. I can't be bothered.
But that's been fun. So
There you go.
sometimes I get some fun stuff in. It's like Christmas. You don't know what's going to be in the package, and then you do.
Well, that's just life.
That is just life. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Shall we preamble, my dear?
Yes, please.
Give us some of that ammonia, Corrie. This is what people expect from episode 400, isn't it?
Oh,
Something
that's right.
special.
It's episode 400. You didn't do like a special do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do thing in the
No,
beginning?
you just did that.
It's our 400th episode. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Give me some of that Corrie news.
Soaps were represented at the Oscars this week, and I'm not just referring to Michael B. Jordan's time on All My Children. Did you know that one of his first acting jobs was on All My Children?
I did.
Just-
Oh, of course I didn't.
Jesse B. Buckley. Everybody's got a... Do you know that Michael B. Jordan's dad's name is Michael A. Jordan?
Oh, I sense a trend. Is
Yes.
there a Michael C. Jordan?
Not yet.
Does the initials stand for anything?
I don't know. I just know that the Michael A. Jordan and Michael B. Jordan, and that's a real thing.
I like that.
Me too.
If I was going to have 26 kids, that's what I'd do.
Jessie Buckley won Best Actress, but did you know she once lost to Jodie Pregner, our Glinda, in the 2008 season of I'd Do Anything?
Yes.
Well, you know now. Did you know that Jodie Pregner won the 2006 season of The Biggest Loser?
I did know that as well.
I didn't even know you had The Biggest Loser in the UK.
Yeah.
It's a terrible show here. Was it a terrible show there?
I think so, because it
I mean, the whole
kind of
premise
gives
is
people
terrible.
eating disorders, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and anxiety disorders because people are shouting at them on treadmills.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fun. Anyway, and that Buckley's co-stars in Hamnet, Noah and Jacoby Jube, are the sons of Katie Kavanagh, a.k.a. our dearly departed Julie Carp? Well, you do now. I didn't realize Noah was also the kid that lives in the Quiet Place, in The Quiet Place 2.
Oh, yeah.
Jacoby is going to be in the next Exorcist remake.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe it'll be good.
Well, anyway, this is all discussion for a different podcast. A different
no.
podcast which now has its own YouTube channel. So if you fancy listening to us talking about movies,
Yes.
head over to youtube.com/@the-list-of-lists-podcast.
Yes, and then you can hear our movie reviews. Did you put up my review of the dinosaur show where I talk about
I'm just in movies. Just in the movies.
just doing the movies? All right. I'm sad now. All right, moving on. Corrie on a Sunday? Sunday,
Oh, no.
Sunday. Corrie will not be on Friday, March 27th, so we can all watch men from England and Uruguay kick a little ball around for a World Cup that may not happen because we're at war.
Keeping it light.
So we'll all be watching the show on Sunday the 29th instead, except for me.
Oh.
I will not be watching on the 29th. I'll just watch it on Monday. Maybe.
So we'll do
So, yeah.
a 4 episode
This fucks
and then
up
a
our-
6 episode.
Yeah, this fucks up our life. Why would they do this to us? It's because they hate us.
They hate us.
They do. They hate us.
Should have killed us last year.
Right. Yeah,
Should have killed us at episode 300.
that's why they never sent us those Free Roy t-shirts. Still mad about that.
It's good that you've got over that.
Still mad about that. I'm sure there's a dusty corner in a dusty warehouse somewhere in ITV land where there are 2 t-shirts, 2 Free Roy Cropper t-shirts, one extra large and one just large that they could send us at any time.
A 2-year-old t-shirt.
Yeah.
Gathering dust.
Yeah.
Probably some urine as well. Fuck that. I want an ITV Puffa Puffa jacket. Send me one of them.
And And finally, we can't confirm he's dead, but we can confirm he's leaving. James Cartwright still has scenes to film, but a spokesperson for the show has stated that he was always on a finite contract and will be gone soon.
They're all on finite contracts, though, aren't they? Renewable finite contracts, I guess.
Right, yeah, but some are more finite than others.
Oh, well. How Orwellian.
Yes.
See, some highbrow jokes in here. It's not all about piss.
Now I'm just remembering that eventually, sometime this year, we're going to have to watch that awful animated Animal Farm movie. Damn you, Andy Serkis. And that's Corrie News.
A splendid selection of news, at least tangentially related to Coronation Street, which takes us in an arse to its elbow sort of way to the feedback section that I like to call Everyone's a Critic. No, that's
not it. That's the coffee.
400 episodes, man. I can't stop it once it's started.
No, of course not.
Physical mail!
Physical mail!
Physical mail!
I went to the P.O. box today, can you tell?
You did. It's very exciting. We got 2 very beautiful postcards. One in the shape of the state of Oregon. It's not only
It's
a
a new
postcard
thing.
from Oregon, it is shaped like Oregon. It reminds me of that cheese we once got in Ohio that was shaped like Ohio.
Wait. I did a Sudoku once that was in the shape of Wyoming. There you go.
Hello from Oregon. As long as Jack P. Shepard is on Coronation Street, I'll keep track on the show. Such a great actor. Yeah, I think so.
I like Jack P. Shepard.
Thank you for sharing your time and ideas with us. With appreciation, Michelle.
Thank you very much, Michelle. That is a lovely postcard.
It is a lovely postcard.
I long for more postcards that are in the shape of the state where they're from.
Right. Or
This could be
difficult. County or the what is it in Canada again? Provinces. Yes. I would like a postcard in the shape of the Yukon Territory, please.
I would like to see a postcard in the shape of New Jersey just to see what that would look like.
I bet it would look like New Jersey.
And how much writing you could fit in it. You'd be limited.
Not as much as Oregon.
No.
Imagine the Rhode Island postcard. It'd be like this big.
It'd be toty.
It'd be so toty. You couldn't even fit a stamp on a postcard shaped like Rhode Island.
Let's focus on Michelle's postcard from Oregon, though. It is lovely. And
it is beautiful. It's got birds on it, which is appropriate because Portlandia is based upon Portland, Oregon. Up next, we have this postcard of totem poles in Prince Rupert, British Columbia.
Wow.
Yes.
We need to go to British Columbia.
We do need to go to British Columbia.
Maybe the same time we go to Oregon.
Maybe.
It's that neck of the woods.
It is kind of shameful that you've only been to one Canadian province.
They're enormous.
Yes. But
You travel halfway across the country, you nip into Canada, you're still in Ontario.
Dear Helen and Gavin.
That's us.
Hello from rainy Prince Rupert, British Columbia.
Rainy.
Rainbow City and City of Totems.
Oh, love it.
Not the City of Totems, but a City of Totems. Thanks for all the listening on the long and arduous journey up here. All the best, Josephine Otingi.
That's lovely.
Yes.
Prince Rupert, I didn't even know that was a place.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yes.
In addition to the physical mail.
Physical mail! Physical mail!
We also got non-physical mail. The first of which from Paul McMurray, who says, all the best from London. London, Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, London. We've been through that London, Canada, because it's Ontario.
Yes.
It's on the way between Sarnia and Niagara.
Yes.
I think. We've definitely been through it, because we did say London as we passed by.
Yes, we go London.
Just like that. Cameron from Edmonton says, enjoyed hearing Helen mention nipping out for a shite last week.
Yes, because usually it's you who nips out for a shite.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's my bowels. I'm a martyr to them. And Ian Les Paul says, just wanted to congratulate you on your 400th edition. Thank you very much, Ian. If anything, you get better over the years. I think we do as well.
Yes, I think that's true of most podcasts or most anything in life. The more you do it, the better you get.
You become less conscious that you're talking into a microphone, I
That's-
think is the key thing.
Yes, I
The
think
more
that's
that
true.
you do it, the less it feels
Yeah.
like you're doing it.
Of course, we've been speaking into microphones long before we started podcasts. Because we used to
So
be...
we had absolutely no excuse at the start.
Yes, we used to be spoken word artists.
You were talking about the electricity supply, and I was like, where were you?
Yes, we were.
We've
Because
had
the power
cuts.
kept... Yeah.
That's right. I have a series of pylons crossing my land. They carry hydro generated from the dammed up lakes in northern Manitoba. They run south and cross the line just south of us. They carry power to Rugby, North Dakota, where it enters your grid. About 10 years ago, a maintenance guy told me that they carried $400 million worth of electricity every year. That's more than $1 million a day, probably more now. $1 million crosses my land every single day.
Yes.
Very clean, green energy. You're welcome.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
Yes. This was like discussed at some point, you know, when people were saying garbage things about Canada, like, oh, what do we get from Canada anyway? And the entire state of Michigan said, most of our electricity, please.
Yes. I actually think I got some of Ian's electricity today because it was so green it made me think about planting a tree.
Oh,
And Jiggy writes, the Meghan and Will Driscoll storyline finally blown up was brutal in the best way. Eva's knee-jerk refusal to believe Sam was just another example of an adult choosing denial over the hard thing. But then Leanne walked in and did what nobody else had the backbone to do. She believed Sam without hesitation.
Yep.
And suddenly everyone else finds their conscience. Toya, Eva, the whole Battersby clan rallying like it was their idea all along. As usual, the show relies on one character to drag everyone else to the obvious conclusion. And then there's Daniel, who saw red flags waving in his face and says, nope, actually, I fancy her, so she must be fine. The level of smug, self-righteous blindness he operates on is almost impressive at this point. Watching the truth hit him was genuinely one of the most satisfying moments the show has delivered in a long time, and
Agreed.
I 100% agree the fuck out of that. Thank you very much, Cheeky. GM Jara 777 says, loved your debate over the most boring moment of the week last week. There were so many to choose from. Thank you, Helen and Gavin. That's us.
Yeah, that is us.
You're very welcome. Thank you to James Jara 777, to Cheeky, to Ian Les Paul, Cameron from Edmonton, Paul McMurray, Josephine Otingi, and Michelle for their correspondence this week.
Yes.
We appreciate it as always. Send us your thoughts. I'll probably read them out. Get us at the talk of the street at gmail.com, or our DMs are open at Corrie Podcast. Or we love it when people write actual letters to us. Send us your proper mail to the Talk of the Street, PO Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan 48827. Please note that we reserve the right to edit feedback, but only in the interests of brevity. Now I'm going to press the podcast for coffee button again. We're drinking our own coffees this week. The Talk of the Street is and will always be free on your podcast provider and on the YouTube.
And no more friends of the podcast.
That was last month.
I get
That was big last month.
I get so excited when you play that music. It's just so uplifting.
Do you want me to play it anyway?
No.
No. If you think our show's worth anything more than the time it takes to listen to it, if you want to show your appreciation, or if you want more weekly and monthly content, head on over to corriepodcast.com. Click on Support the Pod and then Friend of the Podcast. For $2 a month, you get access to our weekly spoiler show, the Talk of the Street Spoiler Alert, and our monthly classic Corrie show, the Talk of the Street Classics. This month we're talking about episode 4339 from January the 23rd, 1998, Emily Up a Tree. And if that wasn't enough, you also get access to our Discord server, a shout out at the end of every podcast, your name on the credits of the flagship show, and us reenacting your one-act play. If you prefer something a little less formal, you can also buy us next week's coffee by clicking Buy Us a Coffee. And remember, you can always support the podcast for free. Get us in front of new listeners by liking, subscribing, rating and reviewing wherever you get your podcasts. All right, shall we dive in, my dear?
Yes, please.
There really was one very main storyline and some three, actually, kind of buzzing around the periphery storylines, which were, in some cases, mercifully shot.
Yes.
So let's go through them first.
Okay.
The first storyline is Bernied out of her Bernies. And she wasn't even in it.
Nope.
On Monday, in Nina's roles, Nina's quizzing Swain on the condition of Mal Roper. I don't know, what's a Mal Roper? And then it all came flooding back.
That's Don Knotts' Scottish cousin
Sure.
Because remember, Don Knotts played Mr. Roper in Three's Company.
I don't. But I'm laughing out of politeness. But Swain isn't for telling. But when Kit comes in, well, the shoe is on the other foot, and Swain starts quizzing him. He has no further information, and the investigation has come to a grinding halt. However, at the station, Swain's got some good news for Kit. An eyewitness has suddenly come forward and is on his way to the station to make a statement.
Whoa.
So Kit basically runs outside and waits for someone who looks like they're there to give a statement. Wouldn't you know it? A prime suspect comes along. Mm-hmm. This guy allows Kit to spin a yarn, but then reveals that he knows it was Kit what battered Mal, and he's off into the station to grass him right up to somebody else.
Uh-oh.
Not so fast, says Kit, as he knows this guy is the landlord of a dive bar in town that does a roaring trade in illicit drugs. Wouldn't it be a terrible shame if someone was to raid that pub, says Kit. The guy says he doesn't want any trouble, and so the matter for now is finished.
Kit, if you know this already, how have you not raided this already?
He's keeping it in his back pocket.
Right, just in case he needs it?
Mm-hmm.
How would he know that this guy would be the guy who would just randomly be the guy who saw him shove Mal? It's a little too convenient, isn't it? There are other things that happened this week that make me go, wait a second, how did this person know that they were going to bump into this other person so that they would have this thing in their pocket?
Oh, was that a wee treat for a dog in the pocket?
No.
Oh.
It's a Mickey to...
Oh, yeah.
Yes. We'll get to that.
Oh boy, we will get to that. What did you think of Kit's approach here?
It's very Kit, isn't it?
It is very Kit, but
We haven't seen him be a dirty cop in a while, so it's fun to see him be a dirty cop again.
I was cheering him on.
Yeah.
I don't mind admitting it.
No.
I'm a hypocrite.
No, this is... Yes, we're both hypocrites because we want him to shove Mal again.
Preferably down the same stairs that Maggie shoved her first husband.
Right, yes. Or, off the balcony that Adam fell off of and lived.
Or off the banister in that abandoned office block that Rob Donovan pirouetted over. That would be good. I don't think Mal could achieve that.
No. Or, the cliff that Billy fell off of.
There we go. We found the one to go with. Down the quarry.
And lived.
Down the quarry with
And
you,
yet
Mal.
he's not fireproof. He's cliff-proof, but not fireproof.
Yeah. On Tuesday, Kit is patiently explaining all this to Sarah, and she's understandably concerned that he's now intimidating witnesses. Kit's day gets worse when at the station, Swain tells him that Mal has woken up, and she sends him off to the hospital. Swain is just the bearer of so much bad news for Kit this week, it's hilarious.
I know, and she doesn't even get to enjoy it, because she doesn't know.
That's right. Mal is in a chatty mood
Yes,
when
he is.
Kit arrives and claims that he didn't see who pushed him, but the person must have been tall and strong, like one of those micro-penis manosphere gym guys the internet's full of. People with low intellect, people who were raised badly by their parents, particularly their mums, says Mal.
Joke's on you, Mal. Bertie didn't raise that boy.
Yeah, get it right up, you. Kit goes to leave, promising he'll do everything in his power to close the case, which doesn't mean that he's going to spend any time on it whatsoever.
No.
Say hello to your mum, says Mal, who totally knows it was Kit what pushed him.
Right, yes.
And that's as far as we get with that this week.
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly a pleasure to be reintroduced to Mal after... Did we speak about this in the spoiler alert? I think we did.
After like a month of forgetting that Mal exists.
A month unconscious after being pushed. Oh no, he had a heart attack, didn't he?
He had a heart attack because he was pushed, supposedly.
So that normally means a month unconscious then.
Yes.
I'm already sick of the sight of Mal again and was hoping that we'd seen the back of him.
Oh, just you wait.
Oh, no.
Just you wait till next week, baby.
No.
It feels like it's lost its way because let's not forget how this character was introduced. This character was introduced because supposedly Roy was writing pen pal letters to his wife.
Because someone was in jail.
Because their son is in jail, supposedly. Although Mal has never mentioned a son.
Not even once.
No. But the story very quickly goes from Roy to this whole Bernie love triangle or obsession weird, thing where Mal is Glenn Close. And fortunately, Bernie has no bunnies.
No.
But it just feels like one of those stories that kind of has run away with itself and doesn't know what it is anymore. It's messy. It's messy.
Yeah, was it the Roy story? Was it the Bernie story? Is it the Kit story now? I mean,
we have no idea. Did this Alice write any more letters to Roy after Mal showed up?
I'm not sure she existed, but...
Right, yes. But, it would be interesting to know whether or not she's still writing letters. And if she abruptly stopped writing letters, that seems a little suspicious now that Mal is here.
Well, now that Roy knows that Alice was married, I think he removed himself from all that. So even if she was writing letters, I'm not sure that we would find out about it. And we haven't found out about it.
No, and he's not even talking about any of his other pen pals. And I'm pretty sure that little free library is gone.
I keep on meaning to check, and I keep on forgetting.
Me too.
All right, let's move on to the next story, which is Alya's boring story. Oh, so boring. Poor Alya. She's been hanging about waiting for a storyline for ages.
And this is what they give her.
And this comes along, and it's so fucking dull. Over lunch, Adam is thrilled, but listen to me talk about it. Over lunch, Adam is thrilled to announce that Jenna Mackey has agreed to the terms of the contract and she's about to sign. Fucking hell, wasn't she about to sign last week?
Right, yeah. Why is this taking so long?
So no progress has been made then?
Right, yeah, exactly. We've had the same exact conversation 3 times.
Alya tries to come up with reasons not to get in bed with Jenna, like she smells, she's racist, and she's the sort of person who licks a spoon and then puts it back in the drawer.
Ugh.
Adam wonders why she's
And
suddenly...
we all know how Alya feels about spoons.
What could she possibly mean by that?
Oh, do I have to remind you again about the weird way Alya taste tests food with 2 spoons, where she puts in one spoon and then she puts in the other spoon? And we mocked it, and I took a picture of you doing the exact same thing when it happened.
I have no memory of this.
And then we talked about it 6 months ago, and you had no memory of it.
Well, it should come as no surprise that I have no memory of it. I also have no memory of 6 months ago when apparently we talked about it. But it makes sense to me to have 2 spoons, because you don't want to put your tasting spoon back into the thing that you're tasting.
Right. Well,
you take out, you use your scooping spoon, and you put your scooping spoon onto your going in your mouth spoon, and then you put your going in your mouth spoon into your mouth and taste it.
Right. And then you put both spoons in the dishwasher.
Yeah. Except I don't. I just use my tasting spoon as my going in your mouth spoon.
Right. And then you put that one spoon in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I put it back in to taste it again,
you use a different spoon.
Oh, my sweet summer child.
No wonder I get sick so constantly. It's all your fault.
It's hot. The bacteria's dead. Adam wonders why she suddenly got it in for Jenna Mackey. In speed dial later, Alya and Sally are talking business, and Sally reveals that when she was working for Mike Baldwin and he tried to pull a fast one by ripping off knicker designs, Sally initially went along with it but then had to resign. Decisions have consequences, and you have to be able to live with yourself is generally the gist of what she was saying. Your unusually apt speech has been very useful, says Alya, and so Sally offers her services as a business guru, and she seems genuinely put out when Alya doesn't humour her by saying yes please.
Yeah. Calm down, Sally.
Yeah, seriously. So later, when Rich comes in to see if she's managed to get Adam to pull out the deal...
But not like that!
Alya tells Rich to suck on her balls. Well, you've been warned, says Rich. On Tuesday, in Nina's Rolls, Alya fills Adam in.
But not like that!
He's ready to go nuclear on Fabian's ass, saying that they can shut him down for this. He asks if Alya wants to pull out
but not like that.
with Jenna Mackey, but she says to keep the meeting, she won't be bullied and she'll face the consequences. On the way out, though, Adam is on the phone to Fabians.
Whoa.
So Adam has set up a meeting with Rich from Fabians in the Bistro.
Okay, so let's all remember, this meeting was Adam's idea.
Yes.
Not Rich's idea.
Or Alya's idea.
Or Alya's idea.
Alya apparently finds out about it 2 seconds before it begins.
This is Adam's idea. Let's all remember that.
When Rich arrives, Adam wants him to back off from Alya, and in return, Adam will promise not to actively pursue any more of Rich's clients. But Rich wants a bit more than that, and so Adam eventually agrees that in addition to not pursuing anyone, he'll knock them back if they approach him. Rich would rather
Which is
another
ridiculous.
firm gets them first, so it's a deal. But later, when Alya and Adam are leaving, it seems someone has hacked the law firm's email and posted internal emails about how much of a fucking nightmare Debbie is going to be at trial to the Weathy Community Connection. Fucking Rich, man,
Yeah,
says nobody.
When Rich walks away from the table, he's got a smirk on his face.
He's smirky
He's
McSmirkson.
so smirky. So it's like something has happened here.
Mm-hmm.
Something. He's the cat that's got the cream.
Yes.
All over his face. So I mean,
So why are we remembering that Adam set up this meeting?
because Adam set up this meeting where his emails have been hacked, and if he hadn't set up the meeting, then Fabians wouldn't have gotten the idea to hack his email.
Oh, I kind of got the impression that his emails were getting hacked one way or the other.
I had assumed that the way that they hacked his email had something to do with the proximity to phones.
Oh, no, I don't think so. And I think it's explained on Thursday what happened.
But still.
So what, will we now forget that Adam set up that meeting?
No,
Okay,
I think
we'll still
we should
remember
still remember
Okay.
it because
It's just good information.
it's all his fault that it's gotten this far. If he had just not listened to Alya and just pulled out of Jenna Mackey anyway.
But she was so close to signing.
For 3 weeks.
Didn't we say in spoiler alert that we're going to meet Jenna Mackey this week?
I don't think so. I think you interpreted it that way, and I just didn't disabuse you of that.
Oh, that was nice
But
of
it was
you.
just that.
Because I was so disappointed this week when we didn't meet Jenna Mackey.
Oh, I bet we never meet Jenna Mackey.
Not now. Not now that Adam spoiled it.
By not pulling out in time.
She could have been the next Swain. On Thursday, in Nina's Rolls, Alya and Adam assess the damage caused by this leak, just as Ronnie comes in, outraged that they could talk about Debbie in these terms, calling her a flake and unreliable, which, let's face it, it could have been so much worse.
It could have been so much worse.
Adam apologises and explains that this was two colleagues frankly discussing a case on what they thought was a secure channel. This was not meant for public consumption. Ronnie's less than impressed, though.
Yeah, you still shouldn't be talking about people this way.
It seems that this was all Adam's fault for clicking on a dodgy email.
So it is still Adam's fault.
It's still Adam's fault, but not for the reasons you thought. But there is no doubt that it's Rich who's behind this. Later, Alya is writing a rebuttal at speed dial, making sure to read out what she's writing aloud so that the people who have turned up for a Pakistani street dinner can hear.
Well, sometimes you want to read these things out loud
In public.
just to make sure that you...
In the middle of a restaurant.
Well, I've heard people read out worse in public.
In a restaurant, a person sitting on their own reading aloud in the restaurant.
Or loudly watching videos not in their headphones.
Oh, that's a completely separate...
And sometimes very inappropriate videos to be watching in public.
Yeah, I think that's separate and it's despicable. But I don't think I've ever seen someone sitting at a table on their own with a laptop reading out aloud. It was just odd.
I've done
And
it.
and it was nothing particularly interesting either. It was just...
Trying to word a letter like informing people, apologizing to people that this has happened and stuff. I've done it. I mean, not as loud as Alya, kind of under my breath, like whispery, but...
I mutter for fuck's sake at my desk all the time.
Yes,
But
that's
me.
different.
Yeah.
That's at work.
She and Leanne get in a bit of an argument when Alya explains that Daniel thinks everyone got the wrong end of the stick and Megan isn't a creepy paedophile after all. Alya shuts up when Leanne explains about her terror campaign against Sam, and Megan should be avoided like an obvious simile. Later, in comes Rich. He's got the audacity to order some takeaway from them.
I know.
And Alya tells him to get out, with Leanne showing up behind her as muscle. Rich advises Adam to drop his representation of the pedo school teacher, as the last
In
thing
a
they
different
need
storyline.
is more negative publicity. Leanne is fucking furious
Yes, she
to
is.
learn this and hopes that the law firm goes under. And that's as far as we get with that this week.
Right. And I can understand in part Leanne's ire, but on the other hand, he's a lawyer.
Oh, do you want to talk about the vital part
And also,
that defense lawyers play in law
and, well,
and
there's
justice?
well, there's that, and also there's the Daniel factor in all of this that Adam wouldn't have even known. And also, Megan's not the one who asked him to be her lawyer. It was Daniel.
well, sure. Which makes scenes that we're yet to talk about all the more outrageous.
Yes.
But coming from Daniel, completely in character.
Right, yes.
The thing that gets
the
me...
things we were going to say about Daniel.
Scenes that we're talking about defense lawyers. The thing that gets me is every single one of these people have required a lawyer to act on their defense.
At some point, yes.
At some point.
And sometimes they've been guilty, and sometimes they've been innocent.
But how many times do we have to go through this rigmarole of people
How dare you?
blaming lawyers for taking clients and getting paid? The purpose of a defense lawyer is to make sure that the prosecution has a sound case, is that all the I's have been dotted and all the T's have been crossed. They're ensuring that
Right.
the justice system is a well-oiled machine.
The only person whose complaints I understand and does seem like this is something that Adam should recuse himself of is Eva,
yeah, me
pointing
too.
out that Adam is her ex-boyfriend.
Yes.
At which point it's like, yes, Adam totally shouldn't have taken this case.
And again, we're jumping forward, but
Right.
I'm not sure that you just go to a backstreet lawyer to defend you against child grooming. I think there's maybe other people that you go to for that. There's maybe specialist lawyers that are not somebody who does conveyancing and
I mean,
garden disputes.
didn't Adam handle Daniel's defense in the whole summer thing? Probably, because, I mean, who else is going to do it? There's only one
I'm
lawyer.
only amazed that he didn't represent himself.
There is now only one lawyer in this show. There's one lawyer.
Thanks, Dee Dee. Thanks for nothing.
Thanks, Dee Dee, and thanks,
Imran.
Charlie, for dying and leaving the show and making us sad.
So, was this a dreadfully boring story?
For the most part, yes. It's kind of like this ridiculous nothing, but it feels very much like the George defamation case storyline. It's like, what are we doing here? Why is this all of a sudden a lawyer show?
Oh God. Let's
When
not
we have
let's not assume it goes in that direction too much.
just Adam. The whole thing with poor George just it feels like a nothing burger as well. And it feels like a nothing burger in which the show once again relies far too heavily on what they believe social media can do.
Talking of nothing burgers,
Yeah.
I had a big arch for my lunch today.
Oh yeah, how was that? You brought me home a shamrock shake.
This is the first McDonald's I've eaten in probably more than a year. And it surprised me how tasteless it is.
Yeah, it's not great.
But it had the benefit of being heavy as fuck on my belly after I've eaten it, which made me feel worse than I was already feeling. So I would not recommend it.
No.
And it's ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
And
Well, because it's massive.
huge in calories, yes.
Yeah.
Which
So-
is part of the reason why I didn't have any dinner.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I found this a nothing burger as well. It was less of a nothing burger. There was maybe some cheese and Thousand Island dressing thrown on it when it became tangentially in the orbit of the Megan Will storyline. But when it was just about Alya kind of whistleblowing, but maybe not, because
Whistleblowing 2 years ago. Let's not forget. And they didn't come after her until one of their people left and unbelievably called up Adam to take their place.
and it wasn't exactly whistleblowing because she didn't point this out to anyone who could do anything about it. She pointed it out to the clients. So all she did was get the clients to pull out, but there was no punishment for Fabians because of this. What she should have done is
except
report
of course
them.
for the pulling out was enough. But yeah, it's like, and the whole maybe you shouldn't be taking care of this pedophile is also kind of a ridiculous thing, because imagine how many pedophiles Fabians has represented over the years, because they cover all these like really high-flying people in the corporate world.
Yeah, I was going to say something quite uncharitable about Rich there. All right, we'll move on to our penultimate storyline. Theo No Sleeves. On Monday
Boo!
at The Undertaker's, Christina spends an incredible amount of time talking about Taylor Swift when Theo comes in to speak to Todd. He's looking to pick up the rest of his stuff and wants to know when a good time would be. Todd promises to be out the flat for the afternoon. When Theo leaves, Todd is clearly down in the dumps as he somehow has come to the conclusion that he misses Theo more than they thought he would. George and
Boo.
Christina buoy Todd's spirits and tell him that he's better off, and in a wee while he'll see the bright side to all of this. Later, Todd heads back to the flat, but Theo is late on his way out with his plant that's called Robert Plant.
He thinks he's the first person who's ever made that joke.
I don't know. Theo says you won't be missing me or my shit jokes or me telling you how many calories are in a bottle of wine. And he leaves Todd to it. And Todd continues to look longingly at the man who held a knife at him a week ago, when what he should be doing is scouring that flat for hidden bugs and cameras. On Tuesday, Todd and Sarah are in the bistro when would you Adam and Eve it? In comes Theo with a man. Sarah suggests they leave, but Todd says that he needs to get used to this and goes to the bar for drinks because apparently there's no table service for booze at the bistro. Once there, Theo comes over and insists on introducing him to Andy. Todd is appalled, but over comes this fucking Andy guy to say hello. Todd says this is ridiculous as they just split up, and this is when Theo chooses to mention that Andy is looking for a scaffolder for a project they're not shagging at all. Sarah comes to the rescue and pulls Todd off.
But not like that.
To
Not
go
anymore.
to the pub. Later, Todd's back at work. When Theo comes in to check on him, Todd apologises for his jealousy and says that he's finding it hard.
But not like that.
Theo says he's finding it hard too.
But not like that.
They were so in love, maybe too much, he says. Theo seems about
Whoa.
to suggest that they get back together, and when Theo touches his hand, he practically leans in, but then Theo tells him to look after himself, and he shows himself out.
Thank God.
On Wednesday, Todd's money woes seem to be behind him as he has breakfast with Glenda, Nina's rolls.
Yes.
She tells him that he needs a distraction, and he says he has the marathon to look forward to, which had been upgraded from a half marathon because of plot. Apparently they cancelled the half marathon after the crash, and then Theo signed him up for a marathon because he's a total dick.
Where?
But I thought, wasn't Todd struggling with all this running? His feet were
Right.
bleeding a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. And that was after the crash. Does the show even know what it's doing anymore? And also, where is this marathon supposed to be?
It'll be outside Nina Rolls.
Right, but
That'll be it.
do they know how long a marathon is? And if there was already going to be like a half marathon that they canceled?
We're
did
seeing
they
none
have
of this. It doesn't
time?
matter. This might as
They
well
have-
be we're running to Africa.
They have time to like, I don't know. I just wish the people who write this show did more research on mundane things like how long a marathon is and
Well, Manchester will have a marathon.
and how many Robins have been in Batman.
Well, Manchester will have a marathon.
Right, but it still doesn't feel like they understand how long a marathon is.
Why?
Because it's considerably longer than a half marathon.
Well, let me.
And
It's double.
right, yes. And so the training would be even more intense. There's no way Todd's running a marathon. No way.
All the people.
Even with bloody feet. And also a marathon on cobbles.
Well, no, it's not. It's not on cobbles.
It is if it's going by Nina's Rolls.
I'm just making this up.
But you know what'll happen. You'll see people running by Nina's Rolls.
I don't
and
know.
falling over themselves because they're running on cobblestones.
So many people with twisted ankles and,
Oh,
and
boy.
knee problems. Not, the people that I know who have done a marathon,
Who's that?
so Brandon did it, and I think Joel did it. The first time they ran a marathon a marathon length was the time that they ran their first marathon. They ran half marathons up to that point, And then once you get to a certain level, I can't remember which one of them said, it's just a matter of keeping going. So if you can get to the half marathon, you can probably get to the marathon. Is what I was led to believe.
Did you see a guy from Jackson won this last marathon in Chicago or something, I think, and beat out the African guy?
No.
Yeah.
You beat him up?
No, he beat him to the finish line.
Okay, well, that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for
He
him.
was just down the street in Jackson, Michigan. It's just like that guy in Potterville who just won an Oscar. It's such a small world.
It is. I wouldn't like to paint it, though.
No.
So,
What color would you paint it?
black. Glenda's more thinking of a sexy distraction.
Oh, yeah.
And tells Todd about her pal Raymond from the cruise ships. And she suggests that she sets them up for a bit of fun. Todd's not sure. In comes Theo because he's now obviously following Todd around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Todd apologises again for yesterday and says that he needs to take a leaf out of Theo's book and move on. And this makes Theo silently furious. Todd's saving more pennies by going to the pub later. And when Theo comes in and starts inexplicably flirting with Sean, oh my God, Sean has no idea what to do with this.
No, Sean absolutely has an idea of what to do this because afterwards he says quite explicitly that he knows exactly what's going on here.
Todd tells him to go for it and then announces that he's ready to meet Raymond at the bistro tomorrow at dinner time.
Yes.
As soon as Todd leaves, Theo also leaves and Sean is left in no doubt that this whole performance from Theo was just for Todd's benefit.
Right, yes. But then he also gives Glenda a hard time for not setting him up with Raymond. And Glenda says, well, Raymond's a talker and you're a talker. Mm-hmm. And so if I put the two of you together, you'd take out all the oxygen in the room and everyone else will die.
And everything that Glenda says here is true.
Yes.
On Thursday, so Todd and Raymond have their date at the bistro and Raymond is super gay.
He's a chatty Cathy.
Theo comes in and you've got to wonder when Todd is going to notice that Theo always turns up wherever he is. And he's always got his fucking Liz Tramp Tracker app out with the little T that's on the map. Just, you're in the bistro. You know he's in the bistro.
Right.
Why are you looking at your phone, you idiot?
Right, yeah. You were in the Rovers when he said what time and where he was going to meet Raymond.
Yep. So, Theo's on the premise that it's Gary's birthday. And Theo is loud and singing happy birthday and he's laughing at everything just to get under Todd's skin.
Right, and Gary's like, it's not that funny.
Todd says that Raymond's sweet. Raymond does not like being called sweet.
I'm not your Nana.
Right. Say that I'm super hot and in fact I'm too hot.
Right.
So it just wouldn't work out and Todd agrees.
Yes.
And he says...
And Raymond clocks that part of the problem is the man who's laughing very loudly in the corner.
Yeah. Todd says that he's not in the right headspace for his date and Raymond says that's fine but you can tell that Theo is his ex because of the show that he's putting on and so suggests that Todd finds the right headspace soon. Then he insists that Todd walks him to the bus stop and Theo is left fucking livid to see the two of them leave together. On Friday, Theo shows up at Todd's looking for a missing charger, but really looking to see that Raymond from last night isn't there. Todd is busy, so obliges him. Then Theo announces that he might be moving to Belfast as there's nothing to keep him here. His kids hate him. Yep. And he's making Todd's life difficult. Todd is shocked, but wishes him well. It's 5 nights out on the bounce as Todd has lunch or dinner with James at the bistro ahead of Todd's marathon run tomorrow. So it's orange juices all the way. Predictably, Theo comes in, and being the bigger man, Todd invites Theo to join him. James nips off for a shite. Todd goes to the bar, and while he's gone, Theo slips a Mickey into Todd's OJ.
Is he just carrying this around in his pocket all the time?
Yep. You
Just
never know when you're
waiting?
going to need to drug someone.
Just waiting for an opportunity to slip some in Todd's. He doesn't know necessarily that Todd's going to be at the bistro. I mean, he kind of knows because he's got that tracker.
Yeah, because he's tracking them, yeah.
But he doesn't know that Todd's going to call him over and invite him to sit down. He doesn't know that James and Todd will leave the table so that he can drug the orange juice.
James did look like he needed a shite.
Yeah, but what's Todd's excuse?
He's getting the drinks in.
Yeah, but the
Because
orange
again, there's
juice
not
is already
table
on the
service.
table. The orange juice is already on the table.
Not for Theo, though. He's off to buy Theo a drink.
Yeah, but Theo was already at the bar ordering his own drink.
He was.
So why would Todd have to leave to order him a drink when Theo's already ordered his own drink?
Because Todd called him over before someone could get to the bar to serve Theo, because is there table service or not? Please.
Right, yeah, it is weird that there's table service if you're going to order food and booze, but not if you're just ordering booze. How would you know? How would you know until you come to the table to take orders?
And now you say that was the MO at my local pub in Stirling. You had to go to the bar to get your drink, but if you were ordering food, you would order your food at the bar and say you're going to be sitting at one of these tables. And then when they came over with your food, you could order more drink and they'd bring it over to you. So it's probably operating like that. But still, it's annoying.
We've seen lots of people order food and drink at the table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, none of this makes any sense. And also, that's an awful lot of drug that he puts in that orange juice. And then what? Does he stir it with his finger?
No, he's got a spoon. He's got one of Alya's spoons.
Because it's like...
It's got a little bit of urine on it.
It's like a pouch that big. And he just goes...
How does it go? Oh, that's right. Yep.
It's shocking that Todd's not dead.
He's nearly dead. He's dead on his feet.
Yeah. Ridiculous. The storyline is so ridiculous. I want it to go bye-bye.
So later, Todd's getting a bit intoxicated, or sounding a bit intoxicated, and Theo takes him home, where he pretty much passes out on the sofa. Theo takes Todd's phone, turns off the alarms, kisses Todd's head, says something creepy, and then leaves.
Yeah.
And that's as far as we get with that this
So
week.
fucking creepy. It's like, Todd, babe, why is your phone not locked?
Mm-hmm.
And you broke up with this guy, so even if initially this guy had access to how to unlock your phone, change it so that he can't unlock your phone and turn off your alarms again. Because he's done this already once before.
Yeah. The old alarm switcheroo.
Right,
And
yeah.
I think he put the phone on airplane mode as well.
Right.
So no one can phone him.
Right. Which, again, this is something he's already done to Todd. He's already drugged him and then turned off his alarm so that he would be late to something. This has happened twice now.
Oh, I don't know that he drugged him, but he gave him too much drink.
Which is drugging
I
someone,
guess.
because alcohol is a drug.
Yeah, but adding a drug to something.
Orange
it's
juice.
something more, I think.
Eh,
It's still reprehensible.
right, yes. And it's still basically doing the same thing twice, which this shows you just how overdone this storyline is that we're going back to the trough to feed again.
And we're still just in March. We're still not in April yet. And we've got, I think now, a month before the big event.
Right.
So there's still
Which
story to tell here.
Which concerns me, considering the final storyline of the week.
I don't know. We're getting to the section of the podcast where I start victim blaming despite trying so hard not to victim blame. But after the whole knife incident, I mean, the fact that he was longing for him was, I don't know. It just doesn't ring true for me. And I know.
He also goes on this date that he wasn't sure of, but then when Theo's being obnoxious, pretending to flirt with Sean, Todd's like, yep, no, I'm going to go. And then in the bistro, when he calls Theo over, when he's sitting with James, he says to...
Shouldn't have done that.
He says to James, Theo's thinking of moving away to Belfast.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell by the look on Theo's face that he didn't expect Todd to say that.
No.
And I'm glad Todd did say that, because it is a good idea.
Yeah, everything that...
Get to fuck Theo.
Theo has been Wile E. Coyote here trying to get Roadrunner this week. Because all these little plans have backfired about
Right.
trying to make him jealous and then scuppering or trying to skipper the date and the whole Belfast thing. None of it's working.
No.
And so he has to resort to drugging and to make sure that Todd misses or is incapable of running the marathon so that he'll feel bad. Because none of this, I don't think, leads to going back out with Theo again. Being bad at running a marathon or disappointing people or disappointing yourself by not doing what you want to do in Paul's memory doesn't necessarily mean that you end up back with Theo again.
That's true. That's absolutely true. But again, it's like they're just throwing shit in the wall and expecting something to stick at this point.
Despite all this, I really enjoyed this week's episodes.
Right, yes, because of the whole Wile E. Coyote aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that I enjoyed this storyline quite so much. I did like it more than I thought because of that reason, because Theo was just rubbish at trying to do what he's what he's doing here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're going to love next week.
Dear listeners, Helen is shaking her head no.
I feel like that was implied.
Oh, well, we're going to talk about the difference between implied and inferred in just a few minutes. As we talk about our final storyline, the mother load of storylines.
Yes, lots of mothers involved in the storyline.
Meet the Driscolls. On Monday, Sam is up and about early. A jogging Nick spots him heading off and tries to encourage him to take the day off, but Sam cannot be dissuaded and heads to Nina Rose to study, stopping only briefly to glare at Megan, who glares back but seems to be unaffected by this. In Nina Rose, Sam has some special effects spent on him, as his head has the hurly-burlies, and he imagines people laughing at him, and then oddly focuses on a large man eating. So that poor man, what's he done? Nina is concerned about him and advises him to stay off the caffeine. Instead, Sam scoops back the last of his ADHD meds.
Oh my God.
Which I've just remembered, there's speed, right? He's taking speed.
Right, yes.
He's anxious and he's taking speed.
Yes.
No crack cocaine available then. We'll just make do with the speed to make me feel even fucking worse than I already am.
Right. I mean, they're ADHD drugs, so they work the same way as speed, which is a street drug. And I feel like people who have ADHD or who take ADHD medication already get enough bullshit from people. So I don't want to say, yes, it is speed, but it works in much the same way as speed.
But there's a difference
legally.
but there's a difference between taking it when you have a medical cause for it.
Right, yes.
To not having a medical cause for it.
Right.
Raise your hand, Sam.
Right, yeah. It has the reason why it works for people with ADHD is because people with ADHD, it works. It's like if you have ADHD and you drink coffee, it makes you sleepy. Sort of thing.
Should point out, Helen and I aren't doctors.
No, but we do have a child with ADHD.
If anything, he's worse when Neva comes in and checks on him, but when Megan comes in, he freaks the fuck out and runs out the door telling people to leave him alone. And
I forgot all of this happened this week.
I know, that was this week. He's got the little GoPro pointed at his face as he stumbles over the cobbles.
It's so ridiculous. Because it literally looks like he's on a bicycle on a rope that's been tied between the two sides of the Grand Canyon. And he's bicycling on the rope between the two sides of the Grand Canyon.
That's the image that you got? I just got the GoPro.
Right, because that's the sort of thing that people use GoPros for, is when they're like doing high risk, sports things, like
My
balancing on a rope.
My train guys on YouTube,
with a bicycle.
They've got GoPros.
But it's very much that sort of like weird kind of angly bit of your face.
Yeah, it's attached
like
to,
whoosh, whoosh,
to a
whoosh.
helmet,
Right,
typically.
yeah.
So your face doesn't move in the frame.
No.
This is like the third or fourth time they've done this, and people mock it.
Never
every
works.
single time.
It never works. It looks terrible.
It does look dreadful. Just have him falling over.
Right. And also, if he's high on amphetamines, then this feels like this doesn't like accurately represent that. But who knows?
Who
Maybe
knows?
I'm wrong.
So he's sparked out in the cobbles, and it's Megan who calls him an ambulance.
Sam, you're an ambulance.
Nick jogs lightly to the scene
In tears.
and learns from the paramedic that Sam had ADHD meds on him. Does Sam have ADHD? No.
No.
Says Nick.
Not that I'm aware of.
Nick, Leanne and Toya convene at the hospital and Nick tells them about the drugs. Leanne can't believe it. Sam was always so anti-drugs. But Toya can see it as he was so stressed and worried. Leanne is sure there's something else going on. Well, what do you think? I have no idea. Back in the street, Megan tells Will that Sam's in hospital after a drug overdose, and to his credit, Will is appalled
Yeah,
and
she's
blames this.
basically laughing about it. It's terrible.
He
What an
blames-
awful woman.
Yes. You've noticed. Will is appalled and blames this on Megan's bullying of him and reckons they should just come clean to everyone before Sam is forced to spill. And I'm remembering at this point that Megan's pregnant. She thinks that this is a dreadful idea, and now that Sam is a junkie, even fewer people will believe him than...
She really just does not understand how people feel about Sam. It's shocking.
Yeah, she's still not got it.
It's like, have you met this child? Have you talked to people about how they feel about this child? People love this child.
Everybody says this to her, though. They say it, that he's such a good kid, that he's so clever, and he's destined for great things.
Right.
And then she says, well, I don't think he's that clever. And then she quickly has to backtrack when everyone goes,
It's so weird that she thinks this works.
yeah, she's a good teacher.
She's a terrible teacher. I feel
so
better.
even fewer people will believe him than the no one that she previously predicted. To make sure, she'll speak to Sam and make sure that he's still keeping quiet. Sam has come round and is sheepishly explaining that he got the meds from someone at school, he doesn't have any left and he doesn't plan on doing that again. Leanne sends Nick and Toya off to get him food, and she double checks with him that there's nothing else going on, and it really is just nerves about the exam. He says there's nothing else. Later, Leanne has nipped off for a shite while Sam sleeps, and Megan appears creepily and offers to sit with him while Nick can go and also nip off for a shite. When she's on her own, she wakes him up, and he kind of comes round and she's the first face that he sees.
Oh.
And she tells him that he's been a silly boy and reminds him of their deal. He says that he won't say anything, and Megan creepily strokes his face while he looks terrified. But Leanne sees all of this
Yes, she
through the
does.
window of the room. It's like,
Whoa.
fucking beauty, man.
Yes,
Fucking beauty.
absolutely.
Loved it.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. I don't... Poor wee Sam, and he's not got his glasses on. I'm
No.
like, where's his glasses?
He's all fuzzy.
Because I'd be struggling if no one gave me my glasses.
Right. You'd be struggling to know who Megan is. Yeah. This is the first time, but it won't be the last time where I'm thinking, this is no genius, evil mastermind
No.
here. Because why would you do this? Why would you go in, speak to one of his parents, and then be speaking to him where there's an open window and touching him where there's an open window?
Knowing that that parent's coming back
Right.
and not really knowing where the other one is.
Yeah.
The other one could be
The risks
standing right behind her.
she takes are so stupid.
Do you think it's because she's used to
Getting her way.
manipulating kids? And so when she comes against a kid who's got a bit more savvy about them or is a bit more intelligent, that's where it struggles. Because I imagine to manipulate Will probably doesn't take an awful lot to get what you want out of that.
Right. Yeah.
And the other guy seemed
Right.
kind
It
of similar.
feels like she seems to think that all young boys are hot for her, or that she can manipulate all young boys.
She does have that opinion of herself, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of forgetting that a good chunk of them are gay.
Well, maybe she doesn't go after those ones, but
Right. Yeah. But she kind of like assumes, because she doesn't know.
I think the job of the manipulator here is to manipulate the kid, but there's also manipulation of the adults. And maybe she relies on the adults being busy people who aren't going to ask questions.
Yeah. Or aren't going to ask the right questions or are going to trust her enough to leave their children alone with her for huge periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
It does seem to be how an awful lot of these kinds of people work. They're in a trusted profession. They're in a trusted environment. And so the parents are okay with leaving the
guard
child.
is down a little bit.
And I mean,
And plus
obviously,
it's boys.
right.
If it was a man with a
But
young
even
girl,
with girls, and she already knows that the Driscolls trust her completely because they have bent over backwards, ridiculously so, to make this child happy by dragging this woman from Hull to Manchester and offering her money to spend more time with their child. It really makes no sense to me when you take a second and think about all of this. It's like, wait a second. Is he really that good at running? And also,
not from the evidence that we've seen.
Is it really worth all this money for this one particular trainer? What sort of evidence do you have that she's like the greatest trainer in the world? And why don't you stop for a second and say, wait a second, why does he love this trainer more than any other trainer? It's like no red flags have gone up.
No, it's a sort of thing where I think if one flag was spotted,
right,
then you start acknowledging all the other ones. But there's been some major ones there.
Yeah.
Like she's always hanging around.
Yeah. And befriending Eva and hanging out with her family.
And people
and
find
stuff.
out little stories here and there and they choose not to piece them together.
Right. And
Lauren's going to be majorly pissed off later. And rightfully so.
right. It's
Because she seems to be...
she
didn't piece it together either, but she seems to be on that page quicker than
she pieced
Ollie, for
enough.
example.
Yeah. And she says later, she's like, this seemed weird, but then she started dating Daniel, and so I forgot about it. And it's like, that should have been your second red flag right there. But anyway, yeah, the fact that it's people who are kind of outside the circle, people like Lauren,
And
people
Sam.
like Sam, were able to catch these little hints, and nobody else. It's
On
like
Tuesday-
the closer you get to it, the less you see.
Very true. On Tuesday, Leanne has sat on this overnight and decided to be snippy to Megan in the morning. Leanne can't understand how this happens to a smart kid like Sam. Megan says it's all her fault. She should have seen the signs. Yeah, you should have, says Leanne. And she heads off to the hospital. And this took Megan aback a little bit.
Yeah.
Over the next few scenes, there are various circumstances which prevent Leanne from being on her own with Sam, including Bethany, who needs a Rubik's Cube explained to her, and Nick, who doesn't seem to know what one is.
And David, who says, I used to just take the stickers off and reapply them.
Finally, though, Leanne is able to ask Sam what that was all about with Megan yesterday, and after some coaxing, he finally says that Will and Megan are having a relationship, just as Eva comes in. She's sure Sam has got it all wrong, but he calmly explains how it's been going on for a while, it was going on with another kid that Megan coached, and that he had planted a camera to trap the two of them, but Megan found it, and is now threatening him to keep stum or she'll grass him up for being a dirty pervert. Eva still isn't convinced that a woman that she let into her house and who coaches her kid could be a groomer, and she wants proof. Sam admits that it doesn't have any, and now that he's overdosed, no one will ever believe him. Leanne, though, tells Sam she believes him 100%.
Yes.
So back at the pub.
Which is nice.
This is exactly what she
we-
needed to say.
Right. And it's exactly what we said she would say if Sam spoke up.
Yeah.
You know, for this whole storyline, we've been like, this doesn't make any sense because the people around Sam know Sam and know Sam wouldn't make something like this up, so they would absolutely believe him.
Megan has drilled it into him that no one's going to believe him, and he's decided to believe that.
Which doesn't make any sense because Sam's a smart kid.
Right.
But plot.
Plot, indeed. So back at the pub, Leanne, Eva and Toya call on Megan, and Leanne approaches her that there's something going on between her and Will. Seemingly expecting this, Megan says that she's sorry she didn't tell him earlier, but Will has a crush on her, and it's been going on for a while, and then he tried to kiss her, but she pushed him off, and she turns on the waterworks. Tears. And she says she was terrified she was going to lose her job and a future because of a stupid teenage fantasy. She apologises for speaking harshly to Sam about it, but says it got the wrong end of the stick. Eva seems satisfied and sends Megan off. Do you believe her? Says Toya. Not a fucking word, says Eva. And my cheer was audible.
Punch the sky.
This is my only problem with... Well, it's not my only problem, but this is my major problem with this. I don't know what convinces Eva.
It's Megan putting all the blame on Will and claiming that Will tried to kind of force himself on her for a kiss and that she was terrified and didn't say anything because she was afraid of losing her job.
Because when she left Sam, she's 100% not believing it. When she left Sam.
Right.
When Leanne says, I believe you, Eva is absolutely the opposite as she leaves that room.
Well, again, I don't think that she's 100% the opposite. I think she's like, I think you've got the wrong end of the stick. I'm sure something happened, but I don't think that this, that it is as bad as you are claiming. But then once Megan throws Eva's child under the bus, then Eva's like, nope, not my kid.
I think I needed a little bit more than that. And maybe it was just Megan to say something that Eva could prove wasn't right. Because you can say that Will wouldn't do that. Well, maybe he would. It can be different circumstances in a relationship like this. Who knows what happens?
I think it's the way that Megan says it, with the waterworks, with the trembly voice. Like she was afraid. Like she was afraid of Will.
I can maybe agree with that more, that the waterworks was overdone. Mm-hmm. And the Battersby sisters can see through that.
Right, yes.
Very easily. I don't know that they know Megan well enough to be able to know her tells. And so that's why just something, just one thing that could be a provable crumb of doubt.
But I mean, that's it. Because the way, if Megan had just said, look, I'm sorry, Will has had this crush on me and he tried to kiss me and I should have told you. If she had said it like that in like a normal voice, it would be one thing. But the way that she says it makes it seem like not that Will is this innocent child who tried to steal a kiss. It makes it seem like Will is the predator here.
Oh, do you think? I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm not sure I picked that up.
Yeah. And that's the thing that switches for Eva. It's like, no, because Megan puts all the blame on Will.
So if you don't pick up on that, and I don't think I've seen anyone else pick up on that, then you're going to have trouble getting why Eva switches here, other than just women know.
Yeah. Every mother in the audience knows.
That was my only hang up on it. And it was quickly doused by two things. The way Toya says, do you believe her, is delivered so well.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And I don't know, Georgia Taylor does this all the time. She has little mannerisms that are blink and you miss it. Or if you're not looking for it, you're maybe not going to see what she does. But she does something in this scene where she's not looking at Eva. And then she blinks, and when she's stopped blinking, she's staring right at her.
Yeah.
And it's almost imperceptible, but it absolutely sells the line because it tells you
that Toya doesn't believe her.
Yeah.
And we know Leanne doesn't believe her.
Right. But it's just so cleverly done, and it's just a natural thing. I think it's maybe not even something that you're aware that you're doing, but it's so natural and a human reaction to something. I thought it was awesome.
Do you know what?
And then Eva, when she says not a flaming word of it.
Yeah, I know. You're
fucking brilliant.
Focus on her face. And this is why I like that Eva's back. Because, we have enjoyed the Leanne and Toya Battersby sisters stuff. But I think adding the third one in, I think adds something that makes the whole Battersby sisters thing work even better.
Yeah.
Having the three of them.
Because it makes them Charlie's Angels. Or, as Megan will say, the Witches of Eastwick.
Or the Schuyler sisters from Hamilton.
An amazing scene. An amazing reaction that it gets out of you. Because of Eva's reaction in the hospital talking to Sam, you're not sure. And you're like, oh, Eva, please don't fall for this.
Right.
So the satisfaction when she hasn't is
and it really
immense.
It's also funny because really the arguments that she makes to Sam about this, none of it sounds like she thinks Sam is wrong with a capital W.
Reasonable.
It's, I'm not sure that this could be the case because I know this person.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure you think what you saw was true.
Yeah, she's careful not to call him a liar.
No.
Or she's very careful to say, no, I don't mean that. I mean, you just misunderstand.
Right, yeah. And a lot of her defense isn't because of anything having to do with Megan. It's having to do with she's let this woman into her house and around her children.
Yeah.
And, has offered friendship to this woman. So it's more kind of that gut reaction of, I know this person more than I don't think this person could do a bad thing.
Later, Megan is in the car with Will thinking that she's
Why?
been believed. I know.
Why would you? This isn't even the last time that they are alone together somewhere where if somebody sees them.
Yeah, at least they're not in their car outside Nina Rolls.
No,
which they could have been.
It's bad enough.
She says it'll take more than the Witches of Eastwick to scare her, but she'll need to skedaddle before all this explodes. Will says that he'll go with her, but in the pub.
And then he asks who the Witches of Eastwick are.
And she's not comforted by this one little bit. But in the pub, Eva, Toya and Leanne agree to go to the police tomorrow after telling Ben, who's out on the lash for St. Patrick's Day. On Wednesday, Eva's up in the morning looking through photos of Megan and Will to see if there's one of them sleeping together. There isn't. But there's plenty where they're looking dead cosy.
Yeah.
Ben joins her, not looking too rough, and she tells him that Megan and Will are in an inappropriate relationship and are together in every sense. He struggles to believe it until she tells him about Sam cottoning on and Megan threatening him if he said anything. And I think that is quite damning. The fact that she threatened Sam isn't a good look. It doesn't point to innocence.
Yeah, because... And she doesn't seem to quite grasp that either. Because, yeah, that's like... This will... When other people find out that she has bullied Sam about this... There are other people who are tangentially involved in this that are kind of like, yeah, well, maybe and maybe not. But then when they hear about the Sam bullying, they're like, oh, no, this woman's evil.
Alya, for example.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. I wasn't going to say her name out loud yet, but, you know, that's fine.
Ben's obviously super upset about this and wonders if it was going on in Hull. Maggie comes in after overhearing the end of it, and so she's brought up to speed.
Yikes.
Meanwhile, Sam is kept off school, so he's not there when the cops lift Megan, which Leanne and Nick are sure that they'll do. Ben sees Will in the precinct, and after some chat about candy laces, Ben asks him if Megan has ever done anything inappropriate to him. Will is obviously lying when he says that she hasn't, and he was the one who was inappropriate by telling her how he feels, which she rebuked, and Ben seems satisfied by this.
Does he?
I thought so. There's a weird wee scene in the Rovers where Ollie is clearly upset about the Will and Megan thing, but he refuses to tell Lauren, but she's overheard at least some of the gist of the chat and tells him about the time that she saw Will and Megan together and how it looked well dodgy. Ollie, though, still refuses to get into it with her and says it's family stuff. At school, Will tells Megan about his conversation with his dad and she freaks out and tells him to go and pack a bag. Daniel appears out of nowhere and is pleased that Will looked upset about something. He wants to get a drink with her after school. Is she still drinking?
See, that's the thing. I would assume that she's not, and yet she's been lying about being pregnant. So what sort of excuse has she been giving to Daniel about not drinking alcohol around him?
Right. Because they mentioned getting a bottle of wine a little bit as well, and this is strange.
It is strange.
She knocks him back. Ben, Eva, Leanne and Toya all traipse to the police station to grass up Megan. Leanne finally announces that she thinks Megan must have been having phone sex with Will when she caught her. Kit is a detective on duty, and he promises to give this case 100% of his attention, which means that he can forget all about Mal in another storyline.
Woot woot.
Back at the pub, Maggie catches Will packing a bag and tells him that there's no point running after that Megan, as she'll be busy right now, busy getting arrested. Maggie tells him that no one blames him for any of this. Will insists that Megan is innocent, and Maggie says, well, that's up to the police. And so Will storms off, saying that he'll never forgive them for any of this. At the school, Daniel is hurrying after Megan, who is practically sprinting away from him, when Kit and a silent partner show up and arrest her for being a pedo. Daniel is indignant, saying
He's
that Will
so
has
indignant.
a crush. And have the police not learned anything from the time that he was accused of grooming Summer? So, you're making getting arrested for grooming about you?
And also, what do you think? Do you think all people accused of grooming children are lying if they're teachers?
Yep. Kit's unmoved and drags Megan away. At the bistro, Nick and Toya warn Sam that he might have to testify, and he's initially spooked by this, but puts on his big boy pants and says that he'll do what he needs to do to get Megan sent down. In the back room, Kit has arrived to tell him that Megan will be questioned tomorrow, and maybe it won't do any harm to let her stew in her juices overnight. He leaves, and Will comes in and hears everyone basically saying that they should lock Megan up and throw away the key, so he leaves sharpish. Ben gets stuck into Ollie, suggesting that he knew about this or had some suspicions, and Ollie's outraged. And as they noisily argue about which one of them is the most to blame for bringing Megan into their lives, and while Ben laments that his son has been sexually abused, Will sits on the stairs and cries. On Thursday, the dust has settled a bit overnight, and it's only really Maggie who's keen to keep up with the aggro
Now,
and an insistence on taking action.
when we watched the trailer and that scene with Will on the stairs crying,
Yeah.
you interpreted it as Will accepting the fact that Megan had groomed him.
Yeah. In the context
And
of
was
the
the
trailer,
victim.
that was exactly how I was supposed to think.
These trailers and things will make some people think one thing and other people think another thing. And I just think it's interesting that you and I interpreted that trailer completely differently.
Now, if you see a dad screaming in remorse that his son's been sexually abused, and then you see the son sitting on the stairs crying, I think you're meant to join certain dots together there. And maybe if you don't, maybe that says more about you, Helen. Will comes in intending to go to school, but Ben quickly disabuses him of that notion as they got to go to the station. Daniel comes round for a private word with Ben before he leaves, looking to clear up this whole mess by placing the blame squarely on Will and insisting that Megan is innocent. He then goes on to talk about himself for a bit, and he's running with the police over claims that he was grooming Summer. Ben doesn't think this is relevant and asks Daniel to leave. Daniel yells at him to open his fucking eyes, and he goes on about how it was Will who attacked him at Christmas. Ben tells him that he's in for a hard fall, and he pities him, and this seems to knock the wind out of Daniel's sails a bit.
A little bit. It's funny, though, because he's not wrong. Will is the one who knocked him over the head.
Mm-hmm.
But not for the reasons that Daniel thinks. Not because he's a jealous little boy who wants Megan and is not getting Megan, and so must destroy the person getting Megan.
Mm-hmm.
It's because he is actually also getting Megan and doesn't want Daniel to have a piece.
Right. Meanwhile, Sam was chatting with Kit at the bistro with his family around him, except his mum. The show killed her. I still haven't forgiven them. Kit wants to know about the camera, so Sam explains that he set it up to get concrete evidence and they didn't do it to perv on anyone. Honest Gov. Kit believes him maybe a little too quickly.
Right. Well, and Leanne in this discourse points out that it's her home, so Sam can put whatever the fuck he wants up in her home.
Yeah, she didn't quite say that, but that's true.
Right. Yeah.
But when Sam says, I didn't put it up to catch anyone undress, but you might have still done that.
Who undresses in their living room?
If the house is empty, why not? He might not have intended on getting some creepy as fuck
Right.
footage, but he might still have got it.
Right. Yeah. And it's good that he talks about this, because then Kit's like, well, I'd like to see that. And Sam's like,
I bet he would.
Sam's like,
Dirty bastard.
Sam's like, but they didn't do anything. It was all fake. And Kit's like, still want to see it.
Damn it.
And and Kit actually gets something out of it in the end. So that's nice.
Sam goes on to explain about the one-act play Will and Megan did to make it look like their relationship was actually just a one-sided crush. And he also tells Kit about the other guy from Hill who claimed to be shagging Megan. Sam, though, is worried that Megan will be able to talk her way out of this, and if she does, she'll come after him. Kit wants that footage, and it seems that Sam has it and is able to give it to him. Later, Kit is interviewing Will, who is a reluctant interviewee who just wants to go home and insists that nothing wrong has happened. What are you calling wrong? Asks Kit, and Will can't answer and wants to go home again. Kit asks him if Megan ever did anything to cross the line or manipulate him or touch him inappropriately, and again, Will just wants to go home. And Ben seems to be very suspicious of Will's reluctance to answer any question.
Right, yeah.
It
is suspicious.
It is.
And Will doesn't seem to recognize the fact that he's suspicious as fuck by just avoiding the questions completely.
And he tries to be smart with Kit.
Yeah.
Because Kit asks, has she crossed the line or something? And Will says, you're going to have to be more specific.
Right.
Well, okay, now I'm going to say things in a way that are going to make you feel even more uncomfortable.
Right, yes. And you won't give a straight answer to.
No. Megan's interviewed next, and she's crying before it even begins. She denies having a relationship with Will and says it was just his crush. Adam accuses Kit of being on a fishing expedition, and he might as well have been wearing oilskins. That was quite funny when Adam says, my client's from Hull. She knows a fishing expedition when she sees it. I thought that was brilliant.
That was funny.
But Kit has got some evidence after all, a video of Will and Megan together in their flat. She says that she was the
Alone,
victim
just
in that.
the two of them.
But Kit is wondering what happened to encourage Will to make a pass like he did in the video, and he reckons the CPS will wonder that too. Megan, though, is ultimately released. Back at the pub, Maggie's investigation has involved speaking with Chloe, who has told her that she broke up with Will when they were still in Hull, and she hasn't seen him since. That's impossible, says Ben. She was fucking Will at the rape hotel on his birthday, and then
the light
penny
goes on.
drops. It's so good. It's so good.
Because you see the look on his face. He's like, that can't be true, but oh.
And this, again, Ollie's is really useful here.
Yes.
He says that hotels have CCTVs because he read it in a book or something. To the Batmobile, shouts Eva. At the hotel, though, Ronnie reveals that they are one day too late, as the footage from Will's birthday was erased at midnight. They only keep it for 90 days.
Yeah, what about the next morning? Huh? What about the next morning? You
That's
should
a
still
good
have
point.
that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And it'd be worthwhile cross-referencing this with any other time that Will has been staying over at a mate's
Right.
or whatever.
Yes. And I mean, come on. Let's not forget how Debbie found so much footage of Abby going in and out of the hotel.
That was a special Abby cam, though.
Surely they have some Megan and Will cam footage somewhere.
Next, Leanne is throwing Megan's stuff out the window.
That's hilarious.
It seems that Megan thought that she could still stay with Leanne while all this was going on.
Yeah, you bullied my son, and you think you can still live here?
But when her suitcase narrowly misses her head, she gets the message. The Driscolls are down in the dumps back at the pub.
And Sally and Tim walk by and are like, what is going on here? And nobody tells them.
No, and nor does Sally and Tim help Megan pack her case.
Yeah.
The Driscolls are down in the dumps back at the pub, and not even Ollie suggesting that the police can find files on the raised hard drives is enough to chew them up. But then Leanne comes in, and throwing all of her stuff out, she found some pregnancy supplements in Megan's bedside drawer. Why would someone who got an abortion weeks ago be taking pregnancy supplements? Ben is initially put out that no one told him that Megan was pregnant, but Eva says if Megan is pregnant, the evidence they need is in her belly.
Yep. Badoom.
So much to love in this episode. The whole to the Batmobile thing was great. The penny dropping for Ben was great. And then the pregnancy was a cherry on top of all that.
Yes.
On Friday, Daniel has been interviewed down at the station nice and early just to piss him off. He insists that Megan is a kind and dedicated teacher whose intentions are always appropriate. That Will Driscoll, well, that's another matter, he says. Will is having a natter with his nan at the precinct, and she's asking him about his assault on Daniel at Christmas.
Yes, because let's all remember, Maggie knows it was Will.
Yes.
She's the one who framed the homeless man.
And whether that was to do with Megan. And Will actually looks like he's about to confess when Daniel comes along with his enormous clown feet and accuses Will and his fantasies of getting Megan suspended, and both of them interviewed at the cop shop. Leanne, meanwhile, has waited overnight before telling Eva and Ben that Adam is representing Megan, and they're appalled, especially Eva, who sees this as a personal betrayal, given that Eva and Adam were once
a thing.
In comes Kit to update them that the hotel hard drive and Will and Megan's phones are with forensics. Ben has his own news. They think Megan is currently up the duff with Will's baby. Kit points out that they can't force someone to take a DNA test, and everyone's like, oh. Another one, Daniel is moaning about Will's lies, but Ken and Tracy aren't sure that they're lies at all.
Right.
And this enrages Daniel. Ken's point is, people don't lie about things like this.
Right,
Generally speaking, people don't lie about this.
Especially people like Sam.
Tracy worries that Daniel is a smokescreen, or maybe Megan thought he was 15 too.
And it's funny how this gives Daniel pause.
Well, he's furious at this.
He's furious, but there's a look on his face like, wait a second.
The truth will come out, and he expects an apology. Back at the station, Megan is being questioned again, and she thinks that she's trapped in a Kafkaesque nightmare. To snap her back to her senses, Kit wonders why she hasn't mentioned to anyone that she's pregnant. This wakes her up. Kit wonders why she kept it secret. Dad a bit on the young side, is he? Megan tries to say that she was waiting for the right moment to tell Daniel. Ah, yes, good old Danny boy. Not really all that old compared to some. Adam interjects and gets infer and imply wrong, so has to shut up for the rest of the scene. Kit suggests a DNA test could clear all this up. What reason could she possibly have to object? Megan deflects and then refuses to take a test and then turns on the waterworks again. Now Adam doesn't look like he's believing any of this either.
Right, yeah. She's gotta know how terrible the crying makes her look.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to know.
And the refusal to do the test.
Right, yes. And refuse, and then start to cry. It's like such an obvious sign of guilt.
They're not going to stop questioning you just because you're crying.
Right.
That's what you're looking for.
I'm a pretty short blonde woman. If I cry, they'll stop being mean to me. No. Have you seen Kit with Sarah?
There's a bit when she's first interviewed, when Kit asks her to talk about her relationship with Will, and she says that she doesn't have a relationship, and he's like, well, aren't you his coach?
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean that kind of relationship.
And then she says that he's got a crush. It's a first. It won't be the first and it won't be the last. Oh, this has happened before? Just so terrible at this.
Yeah, she keeps putting her foot in her mouth.
Which is good. I'm glad that she's terrible at this.
Yeah. But it just shows the shocking proof that if she's done this before, and we know she's done it at least once, she's never been caught. She's never been caught this much.
The Hull police should be hanging their heads in shame. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Later, Adam and Daniel are in Nina's roles being served by Alex, who's fresh from a wrestling tour. Welcome back, Alex. It's good to see you.
He was in the audience.
Yes, he was a spectator, not a participant.
Yeah, which is a shame.
And then Daniel tells him to fuck off.
Right. Fuck you, Daniel.
Eva and Suzie come in, Suzie immediately nipping off for a shite, which allows Eva to quiz Daniel about his pregnant girlfriend. This is news to Daniel. Eva says that she lied about having an abortion, and she's lying about not shagging Will. Daniel is gobsmacked and blames Adam for not telling her.
Right. He's like, why didn't you tell me? And Adam's like, she's my client.
Right.
You know she's my client because you're the one who asked me to represent her.
You ass.
And also, you should know whether or not your girlfriend is pregnant.
Will and Megan meet.
There should be signs.
Will and Megan meet in her car off the beaten track again.
Why?
She tells him the police know about the pregnancy now, and she gives him a burner phone. He insists that things will be fine. She says that she can't go to prison. Later, she's at the rape hotel making an appointment on her phone for 12:30. I wonder what that's all about. When she sees Daniel standing at the bar, legs apart like his scrotum is stuck to his thighs. He makes a scene, wonders why she told him the pregnancy test was her student's. I forgot about that.
Yep.
He wants to know if the baby is his.
Right, yeah, because initially I was like, oh, so she must have told him that it was, that the pregnancy test was false or that she had gotten an abortion. But it's like, no, not even that.
I remember it now. He reacted dreadfully.
Badly when he thought that
Ran out and she said it was my students, but thanks for telling me where you are on this.
Right.
I was like, we've been going out for like a month.
Right. Yeah.
So he wants to know if the baby is his. It's a yes or no question, or is it a don't know? By not telling him about the pregnancy, it looks like she has something to hide, like the baby is Will's. He assumes that she'll take the DNA test, but she says that she won't be bullied into it. He thinks the only reason that she could have to refuse is because it really is Will's. Wow, she says, while she tries to think of something better to say. Wow.
Yeah.
He tells her that he can't trust her until she gets the test done. Well, suck my balls, says Megan. I'm better off without you anyway, which is still true.
Yes.
You creepy cardigan fucking asshole.
It's
You said that was sexy, he shouts.
But even that, it's so hilarious that Daniel's like, well, if you're not going to get the test, then we can't be together.
Oh, well.
And she's like, fine. And that shocks him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, what? And it's like, read the room, Daniel.
At the pub, no one is serving Adam is lager tops and whiskey chaser, which is such a strange order. You order lager tops because you don't want the alcohol of a full lager. You want a splash of lemonade in it. But then you want a whiskey chaser as well. It's like getting a Heineken Zero and a Zambuca. It's just a strange combination. Daniel comes in shouting and poking Adam that he must cease representing Megan immediately. He's now sure that she's guilty, but cleverly doesn't apologise to Tracy or Ben, who are both there.
Right, yeah. Or apologize to Adam for putting him on this case in the first place.
Lauren's upset at Ollie for not telling her. She's bad news, says Daniel. So why did you sleep with her then, says Adam. I'm sick of you projecting your self-hatred onto me. Make better choices, he says.
Which is, again, not wrong.
Megan's my client. She's not my pal. You're the one who got the hole with her. And they're both thrown out while Maggie is fucking fuming behind the bar.
She is.
And that's how we end this week's episode.
Which was great.
Adam saying, she's my client. She's not my pal.
Right.
You're the one shagging her.
Right.
Was fucking brilliant.
And stop making me responsible for your bad decisions. Chef's kiss.
Oh.
Mwah. Mwah.
This was primo Adam here.
Oh.
Loved it.
So good.
They frequently have a difficult relationship.
Yes.
Given their ages and their different positions
Right,
in the
yes.
generational tree.
That Daniel is younger than Adam, but is also Adam's uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was just superb.
It was.
I loved this.
So good. So good. And the fact that it happened in public as well, which is unfair to the Driscolls. Don't get me wrong, that now everybody knows that their son has been groomed by this teacher.
Right. But I think it helps the story move on a little bit now that everyone seems to have all the information, because
Right.
this very much affects Maggie.
Yeah.
Maggie looks like she's going to kill.
Yeah. And she's killed already.
Right. I didn't say, oh, fuck off, Maggie, once.
No.
And although I probably should have, because she corners Sam
Right.
and accuses him of not saying anything so he would get good grades.
And she also puts a lot of blame on Eva and Ben when she's the one who offered Megan money to move to Manchester.
Yes, that was all on the big argument night.
Right. Yes. So there are times where you're tempted to say fuck off, Maggie, but for the most part, yeah.
This is where having someone psychotically focused on family is probably a good thing.
Right. Yes. Yes. She is the Vin Diesel of the Driscolls.
I don't know what that means, but I'm sure you're right. This was as explosive as I hoped it would be.
Yes.
I think I'm on the record as saying that nothing exciting is going to happen for the next 6 weeks until we get to the end of the fucking flash forward thing.
Well,
but this is clearly was exciting stuff.
yeah.
And was well done.
It concerns me, though, because as you pointed out, we still have a month to go. So it's like, where exactly is this storyline going to go for the next 4 weeks?
Yeah, the way that I imagined this running was kind of like the tram crash, where you've got lots of stories that are running individually to each other, which is certainly the case here, but they all reach a crescendo at the same moment, which is when the tram crashes. So I thought we were going to have all these stories that are going to reach a crescendo at the wedding. and then you have whatever fallout
Like
is,
with Corriedale.
is due to happen. Yeah. But
And
that doesn't seem to be the way that they're going to do it. Although
she's out of jail.
she's out of jail, she's possibly going to go on the run,
She's possibly going to go get an abortion.
right? When Maggie hurries back, when Maggie catches her, maybe we delay that moment for a few weeks. But getting an abortion would be, which, do you think that's what she was,
Right.
that's
that
what the
would-
appointment was for?
First of all, that would be a huge admission of guilt. And second of all, the police could go and get a warrant to get that DNA without her permission because it would be no longer in her body.
I think she might be too late to get an abortion anyway, although she's still not showing.
Yeah, and she should be showing. That's another one of those things that's like,
Are you even pregnant?
she should be showing a little bit.
She checked her belly and she hasn't been drinking wine that we've seen,
No.
or has been careful to order non-alcoholic. So I think she is pregnant.
You know what I want to know? Where's that onesie? The little baby onesie.
Oh, Will's onesie.
With Driscoll on the back.
of it. Yeah, I thought that was going to come back to haunt them.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be something that Leanne was going to find. Where's that onesie? Because that's guilt right there, isn't it? Because it's got Driscoll on the back of it.
And where's Megan's family in all this? I guess it's
Does
who
it
cares.
matter?
I guess it's who cares. But
Does
it'd be interesting to see what their thoughts on it were.
Do families tend to be happy when their adult children are grooming actual children into sexual relationships?
Do you know, I haven't talked to enough of them to form an opinion on that. I
And-
imagine not.
And I really don't want them to go along the lines of, at some point we find out that Megan's dad sexually abused her or an uncle or something. Because while oftentimes that is true, it feels like that would take away from this particular story and the victims here.
Just make her a bad person for being a bad person.
Yeah, we don't get enough of that these days. Because, it's like the whole Theo thing and how I'm uncomfortable with the whole Theo thing because it kind of feels like they're blaming his abuse of only male sexual partners in this way is because of the abuse that he had under the conversion therapy and his parents.
Although I'm sure that the show would rather that we forgot all about that angle of it.
It's true.
Well, that was the week that was Coronation Street. Helen, tell me, what was your moment of the week?
Leanne saying, "I believe you," to Sam.
Oh, it's not Eva. It's not Eva saying not a fucking word of it.
They're both good,
They are both good.
but you don't get to the Eva bit
You don't.
until you get to the Leanne bit.
Leanne is pivotal to this, I
Right.
think.
Right. And the fact that she believes Sam 100% from the word go. There's no doubt in her mind.
That's it.
Moment of the week.
We need more stories that show that.
Yeah, I agree. Poor moment of the week.
Alya writing a letter to her clients about the email hack.
I would say so.
Yeah.
More than anything else, that was.
Sorry, Alya. I feel bad.
I
but-
like Alya. I like Alya a lot, and I
Yeah.
wish they would give her a better storyline. I mean, she doesn't need to get stabbed or anything.
No. She's already been stabbed.
Yeah, we've done that before.
She's already been blown out of a truck.
And
Yes.
blown up.
And wandering the streets in shock.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying that woman is smoking and bleeding. Maybe we should call an ambulance.
Right.
Hey, lady, you're an ambulance.
Yay!
Time for our Yay Mets section where we ask our Twitter followers what they thought of this week's episodes. What do you think they're going to say this week?
I think it's going to be mostly yay.
This is 11.1%.
There you go.
Meh, 15.9%. And yay, a whopping 73%.
Wow.
So
Is that the highest it's been in a while?
on a while, very much so. Is it one of the highest it's ever been? Yes. I think all I've seen is praise for it this week, and
Yeah.
deservedly so.
Yeah, I think that they handled this whole thing really, really well.
Yeah, I agree. We don't let these scores influence us, though, Helen. Of course we don't. That would be foolish. So what score are you going to give the show out of 10 this week?
I am going to give it a 7.5.
I was going to say 7.5.
Oh, look at us.
7.5, maybe an 8 in that area. It was a uncommonly good week.
Yeah.
They can't all be like this, unfortunately.
If it weren't for the boring lawyer story and having to look at Theo,
Oh, yeah.
It would be an
that
8.
would bring it down.
yeah.
All right, let's wrap this one up then. This episode was brought to you with thanks to our friends of the podcast. Daisy, French Helen, Pickles, DT, Wendy, Noel, Canadian Helen, Christy, Shandy, English Victoria, Aurora Yvonne, Heather Westerfield, Russell Whiting, Brittany Porter, Laurie Anna, Tina, Leah, Tara J, Fiona B, Canadian Jennifer, Josephine Otingi, Anne Greenwood, Trish R, Sarah Purbrick, Ali Q, Hunker Munker, Darren, the artist formerly known as Seal My Fridge, Pamela, Marsh JT, Tom Ambrose, Christopher Anstey, Terry in LA, Joe T, Corrie Dales, Matthew McInerney, Welsh Emma, Matthew S, Rachel B, Uranium Jennifer, Catherine Montero, Gary Heatley, Pam but not that one, Una, Amy, Jenny Rowell, Aussie Ali,
Wait.
Chris Horrocks, Cameron from Edmonton, Matt Birch, Library Jen, Jack the Marner, and David MacArthur. I require 3 breaths for
Or
it now.
maybe you just make a recording.
I could just get AI to do it.
No.
If you've ever assumed that your criminal offence hasn't impacted your living arrangements, write in to tell us about it. We're the talk of the street at gmail.com, and we're at Corrie Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads and Blue Sky, where you can reach us the old-fashioned way, the talk of the street, PO Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan, 48827. Our spoiler show will be available shortly after this one, and in this month's classics we're talking about episode 4339. Get access to this exclusive content by becoming a friend of the podcast. Find all the links at corriepodcast.com, and be sure to check out our pop culture sister podcast, The List of Lists.
Why is Eric Clapton so boring?
Thanks for making it to the end of another episode, and we will be back next week with more
I'll talk of the street.
The Talk of the Street.
Bye.
Cheerio.